Hey guys, Iceman here, and I found this weird little prediction of the future, man, on the interwebs. On Twitter, actually. Check this out. It's a prediction, or perhaps even a seeing into the future of what Godzilla 2 King of the Monsters might look like in terms of its plot. So here we have the first part, the beginning, where Godzilla meets Rodan. And it's hard to say as to what's going on here with these two tower-like structures. Kind of bizarre, isn't it? But then check this out. It goes on to King Ghidorah's awakening. Now, King Ghidorah is in the Arctic somewhere, and perhaps he's breaking out of this frozen enclosure in this section of the film, which is very soon. And there's this weird symbolism going on around him. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, Ghidorah's reawakening, man, in the Arctic. It looks epic. And then we get Mothra versus Rodan, is what this guy is speculating. The dog fight. And I think that's awesome. So we get to see these two. I think that would be a great way to set up the film as a first monster fight, is to have these two flying ones fight each other, because we certainly haven't seen that in the Monsterverse. In Kong Skull Island, it was two ground animals fighting one another. And in Godzilla 2014, it was Godzilla versus the Mutos. And of course, one of them was a flying creature, but it always had to come down to attack Godzilla. But in this case, to have an air fight, that would be epic. And I would love to see them utilizing their powers against one another. Now, according to this prediction, nothing happens out of that, where both of them survive. But then we get Godzilla versus Mothra. Now, this seems accurate so far, in terms of plausibility, because the director did say how all three of these monsters will be fighting for their own supremacy. Or all four, actually, including Ghidorah. Well, of course, Ghidorah is supposed to be the main enemy, but we'll see how that goes. So we get to see Godzilla versus Mothra, the fight that is like a classic fight, man. How many times did these two go against one another historically? I think it's quite a bit. And Godzilla's in the water in this situation. So again, a new setup. You know, something that we haven't seen before. We haven't seen in the Monsterverse Godzilla fighting in the water. So that would be some epic visuals, man. To have him in the water, seeing how he maneuvers underwater, and to see him come up and take blasts with his atomic breath, I think that would be epic. And of course, it's a perfect setup, because then Mothra could be flying above him. You know, I think that would be freaking epic if it goes that route. And then we have the battle begins, where they're all three. In this scenario, it looks like they might be teaming up. But of course, that doesn't necessarily have to be how it all initiates. You know, they could be all battling for their own supremacy initially, but then they realize that Ghidorah is just much too powerful. So it's just coincidental that they decide to attack Ghidorah, rather. And check this out, man. This guy predicts the death of Rodan. That would be shocking, because I'm probably most excited right now to see Rodan, because I am very excited to see the new take on Rodan. I always was interested in Rodan. Ever since I was a little duck-billed platypus, I remember a friend of mine had toys of kaiju, and Rodan was one of them, along with all the other ones. Ghidorah, Baragon, Godzilla, Mechaghidorah, the list goes on. But I was really intrigued by the Pteranodon-like one, because it reminded me of a dinosaur. So it'd be shocking to see Rodan die, and look at this visual. Ghidorah just rips him apart, man. That would be hideous. But, like I said, it would be very memorable. But I almost hope it's not the case, but even if it is, there's still hope, because in the original Rodan film, there were two Rodans, is that correct? There were two. So there could be another. And perhaps they'll call it Rodan again. Who knows? Or Fire Rodan, or something epic like that. But then this person predicts the death of Mothra as well. So the Ghidorah zaps the shit out of him with his beam. And then Godzilla is just pummeled right here. Yeah, he's having it really rough. And apparently he blasts Ghidorah in the heart. But it might not... Oh, in fact, that looks like that's what gets him then. But I'm guessing the fight would go on. And this is the death of Mothra with a question mark. Okay, and the death of Rodan was with no question mark. Probably because he was torn in half. But Mothra just is zapped and goes into the ocean. But then Ghidorah retreats, is how they have this thing end. So leaving it up for speculation as to whether we will see him back again. And in fact, in the upcoming Godzilla vs. Kong, it is confirmed that there will be a new enemy that Godzilla and Kong will ultimately have to face. In the past, I've predicted this might be Mecha King Ghidorah, but it very well could just be King Ghidorah again. But who knows? And then this guy has the post-credit scene where here's Kong emerging, and for whatever reason, Godzilla is it's hard to tell what he's doing right here. But this is a cool little shot. I mean, this might be Skull Island or something, and Kong is definitely king in this case here. So they get a glimpse of one another, it seems. But what do you guys think of this setup? Yeah, some fan made this up, I believe, and it looks pretty cool. And I really like the variety here. How we get the water battle, how we get Mothra versus Rodan, and all these other scenarios. But let me know in the comments your thoughts on this, and like this video. More videos to come on this stuff, so stay tuned. Hit the subscribe button, if you will. I'm the Iceman. Peace be with you.